Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Caticus, and today I'm going to be doing a video review of the Samsung Galaxy Fold. So here that is right here. I have the silver black version. I don't know if there are other versions, but yeah, this is the one that I have. So it's quite a unique phone because it folds. And it's got an interesting little history. Samsung was all prepared to release this early last year, but there were a bunch of technical issues, a bunch of problems with the construction that ended up having people ruin their phones, or their phones would ruin themselves by getting dust and stuff under the screen. So they had to bring it back and redesign it, and this is the end result. This is a phone that I myself have been totally lusting after, and I finally ended up getting it about a month ago. So let's have a look at the device. On the front of it here, you can see there's a small screen. I think it's a 4.5 inch, but don't quote me on that. And it is usable. It's not large, but it's usable. And it is pretty responsive. And interestingly enough, you can actually run games and stuff on it. I apologize for the lighting right now. I'm doing this review at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I have a fluorescent light above me, or an LED light above me, instead of having actual daylight. But we'll just make do. So looking at the outside of the device, we've got our volume rocker right here, power right here, and a fingerprint sensor. On the bottom of the device, you can see a USB-C and a speaker grill. On the top, you've got your microphone, like one of the microphones right here, and another speaker grill. On this side of the device, there are no buttons. There's just the hinge mechanism held inside of here with a nice little glowy Samsung logo. On here, we've got a SIM card slot. And that is it for the outside of the device. Also on the back, there's the camera module with 3 cameras and an LED flash. When we open up the device, it would ask me for my fingerprint or my PIN code. We've got another array of cameras up here, and I'm not sure if it's 3 or if it's 2 or 3 cameras. But I think that this module here is the same as this module here. I believe that they're the same. So all in all, there are a lot of cameras on here. I think there's 6 cameras in total. How are the cameras on the device? They're pretty good. They're last year's best, so they're about on par with an S10 or a Note 10. And that would be a decent 12 megapixel scanner. And there are a bunch of different modes to go through here. We've got our video mode and our more, which has different things like, as you can see them on the screen here. I won't bother reading all of them, but yeah, there are lots of things to choose from. And how do I get back out of here? Let's press the back button. You use like a swipe up gesture from the back. This is your back button, this is your home button, and this is your running applications button. So yeah, you can quickly go through all the stuff that you've been running and go back into whatever you want, and everything's very fast, which would lead me into the specs for this thing. It's a Snapdragon 855 processor, 12 gigs of RAM, and 512 gigabytes of storage. And there are no lower tiers than that. There's no like 128 or 256. It's just 512. So that leads me to talking about the price of the device. For the Fold, you're looking at about $2,000 American. I think it's $1,950 or something. And while that seems expensive, there's also one benefit for that, or I don't know, there's a reason for it beyond just the gigantic screen on here. And that is that it comes with a pair of wireless earbuds, and the specs are really high. 855 was the highest at the time. There was also the 855 Plus, but 855 and then 12 gigs of RAM and then 512 megabytes of storage. So even for a regular size phone, you'd be looking at about, let's say for an iPhone, I think it's like $1,300 for 512 megabytes or gigabytes of storage. So even there, as a regular size phone, it's got a lot of value in the box, especially with those wireless headphones or those wireless earbuds. Give me a sec. I'm going to pause it and I'm going to go grab them. Okay, here are the wireless earbuds that came with it. So every Galaxy Fold that's sold comes with the earbuds in the box, and these are actually the nicest fitting earbuds, like wireless earbuds I've ever used, and I've used quite a few of them. They're the nicest fitting. They fit so nicely in the ear. And they were also very easy to pair with the device. Everything was very quick and easy. So that was a nice bonus. They sound great, and not sure how long the battery life is, but they seem to be probably like 4 to 6 hours, and very decent quality, very well made, very small, very easy to carry around. Okay, going back to the device here, we can flip the camera around to see the other side. Let's see here. Which one is it? This one? Yeah, there we go. Ah, there I am. Yeah, so you can see my phone that I'm using right now. That's the Huawei Mate 30 Pro, which brings me to the camera. I like the camera on the Galaxy Fold quite a bit. It's very clear and very nice, and the color production is great, and there are many options like widescreen and whatnot. It's a very decent camera array. However, I've been kind of spoiled with the Mate 30 Pro with its 40 megapixel main sensor and just amazing quality. So much so that looking at pictures on the Galaxy Fold and comparing them to what I've seen on my Mate 30 Pro really makes, it just makes, I don't know, makes these pictures or these photos on the Galaxy Fold look a lot less amazing than they might have if I had not seen or not been so used to the Mate 30 Pro, the Huawei Mate 30 Pro. So yeah, a lot of people might be wondering about that fold in there. Like it can probably look pretty distracting, especially with the lights reflecting it like that. And I will tell you that in person, the fold, like the crease in the middle, is hardly noticeable, especially when you're filling up the whole screen with an image. It's hardly noticeable. And for some reason, the crease is way more noticeable on like when you're seeing it through a camera than it is when you're in person. You can hardly feel it, although I kind of actually like the feel of it. It's very smooth. It's very small. It looks so much more pronounced in like in videos than it actually does in person. But let's get into a little bit of the like what things look like on this screen. So a lot of apps resize perfectly. And it's really quite something to behold, like how everything looks on this gigantic screen. I mean, I know it's not a humongous tablet-looking screen, but for a phone, it is really quite large. I believe that it's 7.5 inches, but again, don't quote me on it. But here's a music application. Let's look at YouTube. Open up our YouTube here. Some videos play in full screen, some videos play with bars, so it depends on the video. So even the previews here are quite large. Like even the previews are the size of a medium-sized smartphone. So clicking on it, going into it, turn it sideways, and there you go. You might be wondering how distracting this notch is. When you're watching videos, you hardly notice it. At least I hardly notice it. But yeah, it looks really good. And there's another thing about the device is that because of these speakers, you'll notice that there's a speaker, which side is it on? There's a speaker on both sides, left and right, and they're the same size. So on a lot of phones, let me just turn this down. On a lot of phones, they use a speaker on the bottom and then they use the earpiece at the top. So the left side doesn't quite have the same body of volume that the right side has. But with this device, they're equally sized, and I gotta say, this thing gets really loud, like really loud, the loudest I've ever heard a phone get. Not the most bassy, but not bad. Good mid-range, decent lows. Let me open up a song here and show you just how loud this thing gets. It kind of shocked me when I first heard it. It's probably gonna wake my wife up, but whatever. Let's go to a song that I have loaded. Press play. Wait for it to load. Okay. I'm not going to let it play any more than that because I don't want to get copyright striked or whatever for using audio in it. But the speakers get really loud. I'm quite impressed and pleasantly surprised by how good music sounds on this playing through the speakers. Of course, it sounds better through headphones, but I'm one of those strange people who actually likes to listen to music just playing through the phone speakers, and yeah, it's quite impressive. So how about the performance of the device? Well, with that 855, everything sounds really good, or sorry, everything looks really good, everything runs really well. It's quite smooth. I haven't seen any slowdown in anything that I've played so far. So, and also because of the 12 gigs of RAM, it can run a lot of stuff at the same time. There's also the ability to run things multi-screened. As you can see here, I can open up YouTube, play that.
Your eyes are shifting from aiming to looking out for health.
And also have that video running there. Of course, it makes it pretty small, but I'm not sure if I can do it like this. Let's see. Yes, I can. So I can run things like that. And I think you can have a third application running. Let's see here. Yep. Got 3 applications running. I can resize the window if I want to. If I can do this through the camera. There we go. Got half. There's 3 applications running at the same time. And everything's running perfectly. So that's, you know, if you like multitasking, I actually just generally do one thing at a time on my phone normally. But if you're one of those people who likes to multitask, you can really do that here. 3 applications just running perfectly, totally fine. Let's close those off. And let's get out of Donkey's video here. Okay, now one thing that you might be wondering is, what about that small screen on the front there? Well, every time you close it, it turns off the phone, so you gotta wake it up again. Let's see here. Okay, I guess, is it unlocked? Am I touching the right sensor? There we go. Okay, so funnily enough, you can actually run a lot of the same things on the tiny screen that you can on the big screen, although to quite hilarious results. So for some things, it's no problem, like running a web browser here, you know, it's no big deal. But some things are kind of hilarious. Let's see here. Let's try in our games section here, let's run Minecraft. Here's Minecraft on the small screen. Playable. It's not huge, but it's playable. I actually haven't found a single game that doesn't work on the small screen. So yeah, that's pretty cool. All in all, it's kind of a unique experience to play it on the tiny little screen. That's hard for me to see where I'm pressing through the phone camera. But yeah, runs fine. And try another one if we want. Let's go to games here and let's run Eternium. Sure, why not? It's a more graphically intensive game. Sometimes when you're going from the small screen, you open up to the big screen, it doesn't resize properly, so I suggest like closing out the game and then closing out the game and then running it again when you're in the big screen. So let's close that there. Let's see how things look in the big screen. I almost completely forgot to show you how things look in the big screen. So I'll go to our games here, run Minecraft, open it up here, resume game. And as you can see, it looks pretty fantastic playing on this gigantic screen. Sorry for the light glare in the background there. Everything runs fantastically. Smooth. No slowdown. No lag. Let's try another game here. Close this one out. Go into our other games. Here's one that I've been enjoying these days, 7 Deadly Sins. It's kind of half game and half anime show. load into my Google. Sorry for the delay here while waiting for everything to load. I turned to the side so that I got my stereo sound. I think maybe I have to load it first. Not sure if it's just because it's in the loading screen. Give it a sec here to get into the game. I want to get stereo sound. This way is like left and right. Left and right this way instead of the way that it should be. Let me just connect to the server here. Close out the advertisement. Apparently I can't put it sideways. That's unfortunate. But yeah, it's one of the more graphically intensive games, and you can see it runs really well, and of course it looks just fantastic on this big screen. In actual fact, because of the lighting, my phone isn't picking up just how clear the color is on the screen. It looks like I'm telling you what I'm seeing when I look at the phone dead on. It's a lot more vibrant. So my phone here, the Mate 30 Pro, is actually muting the colors a little bit to make it look a little less vibrant. But yeah, games look amazing. How about one more before we move on? Everything's super fast. It probably has a lot to do with the 12 gigs of RAM. And here's a situation where it hasn't resized properly because I ran it on the tiny screen, so it's running all weird. Let me just close it out. And try that again. Let's see if it runs better this time. There we go. That's the way it should look. Yeah. There you go. Very nice looking. The folding mechanism feels really nice. There's kind of like a little thunk when it goes from fully unfolded, so you can hear that when I unfold it. And it's very satisfying. And then when you close it up fully, there's magnetics in there, which makes it close fully. So it's quite nice. The phone also comes with these little mesh, I can't call them screen protectors, a phone case, and it's 2 pieces all together. So it goes onto the phone like so. Let me see here. Let me make sure I get it the right way. Make sure I do it the right way here. Very nice solution to protecting your phone. Comes in the box, so you don't have to spend extra money to get a phone case for it, which with a phone like this where you've got glass on both sides and it's very expensive, you want it to have some sort of protection. And it's nice because it's not a thick case, and it's also not one of those cheapy little like see-through rubber cases as well. It's quite a nice case. So yeah, there you have it, the Samsung Galaxy Fold review as given to you by me, Gaticus, who sometimes likes to do cell phone reviews. I absolutely love the phone. I think that it is a wonderful device, and of course it's on the pricey side, being almost $2,000. But as I said, you get a lot of value in out of the box as well. Let me just close that. You get a lot of value out of it. There's my kitty. There's a lot with it. There's the 12 gigabytes of RAM, 12 gigabytes of storage, and the headphones, which kind of offset the cost of it a little bit. All in all, it's a really good device. Great cameras, good processor, so much RAM and so much space. And yeah, I absolutely love it. So there you go, my review of the Samsung Galaxy Fold. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then please leave a like and a comment down below if you want to. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. This is Gaticus out.